In this video, I'm going to be fitting a front mount intercooler to this, my Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. Technically, it already has a front mount intercooler in here, but there's a problem with it. It's dragging on the ground. No, yeah, I know that's dragging on the ground there, but that's because I removed the pipes. But it only comes up about that far, and it needs to come up further. Also, this is an oil cooler, which that's on the ground as well. That was wedged between that and the fan and fixed with a cable tie. And also this goes on here. This is the air filter, and this is the bit what snapped off the front of it. All of that's got to fit in there, and that's got to come up, and there is not enough real estate to do that. And the reason being is this front mount intercooler, the clue is in the title, it does not belong in there. It actually should be mounted inside here where the crash bar is. Yep, bumper needs to come off. To remove this bumper, got 2 bolts there, 2 bolts holding these brackets on. Then there is 2 studs in the end of the wing here with a nut on each. I've already taken the liberty of getting those out. There is a bolt down there which I've already took out, and a bolt there which I've also already took out. To get to those, you have to take these lights out, a couple of screws here, and it's on with a couple of slots there, and then you got the same round to the side. So that's the bumper off. You've not had your bumper off in a while, and how about 3 hours, because those bolts are going to be rusty. This one's sheared and it wasn't even tight. What we're dealing with here is the original owner decided that this should go about here, which basically means it can't come up any higher than these, and that's a problem because it's too low at the bottom. He also decided that the oil cooler here didn't need the bracket what fits on there, so he got rid of that somewhere, don't know where that is, so I need one, and decided that this would just cable tie onto that fan and get wedged between that and the fan. Obviously that's a problem. This should be here, and it should have some brackets off here, but the crash bar's in the way. So basically, crash bar off, position this here, make some brackets. Couple of 12mm in here to get the crash bar off. They're cruddy and rusty, so they're probably going to take a while to get out. That side's out. As you'll notice, it's sloping down like that. That is because this side only had 1 bolt, and that'll be because the other one's sheared off in a previous life. But crash bar is off. So now we've got some more access. This intercooler wants to be about there, which when you look at the bumper means I'm going to have to notch quite a bit out of there, I think, and maybe some out of there. If I hold that up where it wants to be, well, as far as it can go at the moment, that is about level with the front of this hole on here. So if I put this in the position I'd like it, i.e. with that level with that, so I can create a bracket straight off there, we'll take a measurement to that point there now from that hole. I think that's going to be about 85-90mm. But can I even get 85-90mm out of here? I'll get 110 if I take all of it, which I don't want to do. Yeah, I could get 85 out of there. Obviously it's going to screw my number plate up, but this is going to be on an angle, so that measurement is based on up here. Obviously I don't really know what the angle will be just yet, but obviously it will be slightly less, hopefully a lot less. So the only way to find out is to mount it in here and then measure it from the point where it's at the height down here of this bit. Temporary bracket, got a piece of this aluminium angle, cut it in half roughly by eye. Gonna notch off that bit there so that will sit flush on there, and then we're going to put a hole in there for that, and then we're going to put a hole in the back here for that. Brackets are on. This side is fine. This side here, that bolt's going to need retapping because the thread's kerfuckled. And also somebody decided these little upstandy bits which the threads are on, to weld them on differently. This one kind of goes over there and this one kind of comes up here. So what that means is I need to remake this bracket but make it with that there instead. so that this one pulls up a bit, which is really annoying because what I did intend to do was basically put a bar straight across there, which would give it more stability, but obviously that's, I suppose I could get some square tube and work it out. Yeah, we'll get back to that. As anticipated, I am going to have to notch out some of the bumper. So I'm going to have to notch it out here. Yep. And there. So the intercooler can come into this space slightly. So not entirely sure how much I want to take off. Well, I don't want to take any off, but I've got to take some off. So I'm going to try with a tape width, and then if I need more, I will do another tape width and see how we go. That's coming up to that first hole. Yeah, I think it's going to be another tape width, isn't it? So notch that out, that, it will go up, and there is enough room down here to do so. But now the bottom's catching, but only slightly. So we are getting there. Probably need to do a little bit more trimming at the bottom, but for now I'm going to leave that for now. But this bit lines up. I'll get it to go up there, but this side won't quite go up at the moment. But I think it's probably just the pipe there what goes up to the intercooler, which is not in the right place anyway. So we get that at the right angle on the other side, and then I'm going to see if it fits. So that's all plumbed in. That's all plumbed in. That sits slightly lower because that sits slightly lower. Obviously got to adjust that bracket, and I've probably got to re-tap that. It almost fits. This will push up so they line up there, look. However, I can push this bit up, but that bit can't come up, and the reason that can't come up is if we come down here, push that up, that pipe there is obviously catching that. So what I need to do is just take a little bit out of here so that this can go back here, and the same on the other side. Trim that out, and that's fitting better there. That will go up there, but this won't go up here just yet, and the reason being is that literally needs a couple more mil taken out of it. This side goes flusher, and that will actually go up. That is because this pipe here, but I have to pull that pipe into there because this is sitting lower, because the intercooler is slightly lower on the bracket because the way they designed it crooked, and also this mandrel bend here doesn't seem to be the same bend as I've got that side. Plenty more room for the air filter, that will go in there. Yeah, got to deal with that. So got a new plan. I've got some solid steel flat bar here, about 3mm thick I believe it is. I made these little brackets what bolt on here and here, and then if you pull the intercooler up, bracket's going to line up with that, and then as you can see I've got the welder. I'm going to tack weld that on both sides. Yeah, plenty of penetration there. So that bracket is now made, welded on both sides. I'm not going to kid you, that was really hard to weld in because it's really hard to get in, tack it in there in position whilst holding that up. But once you've got it tacked and you get it off the car, it's easy to weld up. This tape here is so that I could get it in the exact same position as this side. So I've also put some bottom braces on that side, and that side goes to the intercooler and then goes to the rad support there. Going to mount this in its kind of stock position about there. What I've done is I've created a bar that is going to go across like so, obviously just a bit further up, and then we're going to drill into that, and that's going to hold that in place. Well, that's the oil cooler and the oil cooler bracket all installed in nice and tight. Intercooler's all in nice and tight. It's got the braces there, and whilst I was waiting for the drill to charge up, I managed to introduce the angle grinder to the crash bar and make it fit around the intercooler. That's the stop position for the air intake. It goes into both sides, but it goes through one MAF filter. And this is my original air filter, which kind of went down there like that. It's very tight with that oil cooler there, which is probably why that got snapped. So got a new one. Trouble is, it won't fit here or down there, but it does fit with a little bit of persuasion there. And what you can get is there's an adapter which comes out there, and it's metal, and it bends around like that, and it's basically got two of these, a bit smaller, but two of these either side. So my plan is I'm getting that, and if I have to use the mushrooms, I'll use the mushrooms, but if I can fit it with that, I'm going to get another one of those, and I'm going to put that over there. Bumpers back on, slight issue there, and same other side. That is because if we go inside here, this bit of intercooler piping is interfering with this, which means the bottom can't go back. So all I've got to do is take it all off again, just come down here and take a little bit out there to go in with that. But that's a job for later.